Hey, welcome back to A Dial Like Men. I'm Mike, and today is 6/26. So, it's Friday. A week from tomorrow is the 4th of July here in the U.S. Well, technically, I guess 4th of July everywhere around then, but it's the 250th birthday of the United States. I just kind of wanted to come on and talk about that a little bit, I guess. I know to people from other parts of the world that may not mean much, but it does here, and at least it should. I know some people that aren't, still aren't even happy about that live here. To each their own, but if you're going to live somewhere, at least be happy about it where you live, best you can. But I don't want to get in too much into that. I guess I kind of wanted to get into what that means to me. 4th of July to me, even as a young kid, was always taught to me to respect that and everything it meant and everyone that fought and died to make that happen. Um, it is always a time for me for family and so much of my family are veterans. My mother's birthday is right around then too, so a lot of times it was a birthday celebration for her as well. It's just a day away from it. So to me, this year though, the 250th is extra special. I mean, anytime you hit that quarter century milestone, I think is important for things like that. But it's also my 50th birthday this year, coming up in August, and I think it's causing me to kind of take a step back and just think over the 50 years for me, the 250 years for my country, and the joyous times I've had. And I know that right now the whole world kind of seems like it's falling apart. And it was back then too. Uh, Things weren't good in a lot of parts of the world. It wasn't just here in the colonies and people fighting for their independence and freedom. There was a lot of other ones going on too throughout Europe. England and France were still, uh, to say the least, not on speaking terms. That's why France came and helped us. One reason, anyways. Things have been crazy a lot of times in history, and it's not just now. It always seems worse when you're the one living through it, but I remember great times or times of great uncertainty in my 50 years between the Cold War and, you know, be it hostage situations, issues with other countries, just things within our country, strife and people upset and hard times. We're all going through some hard times, and it's different for everybody. My hard times are nowhere near as bad as a lot of others, and other people's hard times are nowhere near as bad as what I'm going through, and mine not nearly what a lot of you are dealing with, and I get that. But I think it's that one day a year where, as Americans, we can come together and say, we can do this, we can work through this, but we have to work together. It took a long time for this country to be formed, even after we fought and won our independence from Great Britain. It took decades for things to get sorted out, for the Bill of Rights and the Constitution to be written and ratified and signed. It took longer than that for everything to kind of people to figure out even what that meant. We've gone through a civil war, we've gone through depressions, we've gone through two world wars and numerous smaller ones. We've gone through natural disasters and man-made problems, and through it all, we're still here. Now, we're a young nation compared to a lot of them out there, but we're one of the old kids on the block compared to some. It's always kind of it's always kind of surprised me at the people from other parts of the world that are like, well, 250 years, that's nothing. My country's been around for thousands. And that's great. But just because it's only 250 years doesn't mean that we haven't accomplished a great number of things and contributed drastically to the betterment of the world. Now, you could argue that some of the things we've done didn't better the world, but we have done a lot of things that have bettered this world. There have been some great inventions and technologies come out of the United States, humanitarian aid and helping with things. We've caused problems and we've solved problems. That goes for every nation on earth. It's been around for any length of time. You've caused problems and hopefully you've helped solve some. I think one of the biggest things is we showed the world what freedom was supposed to be like. Not, oh, you've got some freedoms because the government said you had freedoms. You've got freedoms because you're a human being alive on this earth, and the government has no say over that, or not supposed to. We're in a bit of a crisis with that now. I'm not going to get political on a lot of it, but if you were to know me, you'd know where I'm coming from on a lot of it. Sorry, I'm just still dealing with horrible allergies all summer. This is just how I am. Spring and summer. We are a nation of people made up from all around the world. We are a nation with such varied backgrounds amongst all of our people. But in order to truly be a nation, we have to have similarities. We have to have common goals. We have to, sorry, I heard something. We have to want similar things. And I think the most common thread for that in this country has always been freedom. Freedom to live your life. Live the life you want, as long as you're not harming somebody else. And that's where my beliefs stand. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you think, or I don't care how you go about living your life, as long as you're not harming somebody else or forcing that upon somebody. And that's the way it's supposed to be. It's not none of my business. And I want to be treated the same. I will live my life. I'm not out looking to harm anybody. We all have to pitch together and do certain things. You know, unfortunately, taxes are a way of life. Shouldn't be as high as they are, but they are a way of life. Uh, there is a lot that we have in common still. And I hate to see us getting torn apart by some. I hate to see us segregating ourselves into separate little cliques and groups. Oh, you believe this, so you belong there. You believe that, you belong there. We belong together. And that's who we are. And that's what we have to be. We have to understand the hard truth that nothing's free. Damn few things are guaranteed. And if you want to succeed in life, you better work for it. And that's what this nation's had to do. If this nation wanted to succeed, it's had to work, and it has to continue to work, and it has to work hard to make that happen. I do not want to see us torn apart by whomever it is. Again, you have your beliefs on that. Whoever it is that's tearing us apart, that's just not right. Whether it's from within or without, from without this country, outside of it. Our forefathers worked their ass off to try and do things differently than the world had known. I think they succeeded greatly. None of it's perfect. No system created by man, by humans, will ever be perfect. It's not possible. But it's as close to it as you're going to get. And we need to tweak things once in a while. And we need to take a look and go, are we staying on that right path? But as this holiday approaches and as this time approaches, I want everyone to just stop, put differences away for a bit, and think, where would they be if they grew up somewheres else? And if your honest answer is, I'd be better off if I'd grown up somewheres other than this country, the exits are north, south, east, and west. No hard feelings, no ill will, but go live there. If you think that you're better off living here, even though it isn't perfect and things need to be worked on, then I welcome you with open arms and I will work with people. That's just how I am. I'm not gonna say that I have all the answers because nobody does. And that's why I try to stay out of the deep politics part online because I know I don't have all the answers, but neither does anybody else. As a collective group, we'll make it work. When I think back to how scary it must have been for those people to sit in a room in secrecy and say, yes, we are going to hold on. Okay. We are going to fight for our freedom against the largest army in the, well, one of the largest armies and the largest navy, one of the most powerful nations in the world, with a bunch of ragtag farmers, blacksmiths, whatever they were, you know, factory workers and whatever. And we're going to fight them. That had to be scary. But they also knew that they couldn't live the way that they were living. I don't think that we need to fight each other. I think we need to go, this isn't the great way to live, to be angry with each other all the time. Let's try to unify. Let's try to at least say, hey, let's agree to disagree on some things. I get there are some things that you just can't. There are some things that have to be, I don't know if I don't really want to use the term fought because people think of like physical violence, and I don't mean that quite so much as I mean, well, as a kid from the 80s, a song that keeps popping up is, "Got to fight for your right to party," you know? We got to stand up for ourselves. We got to be like, hey, I believe this. You want to believe something different, great, but you're not going to stop me from believing what I believe, and I won't stop you from believing what you believe. That's what we need to get back to. Do you think that everybody that was in this country 250 years ago all agreed? Of course they didn't. There were people that were still loyal to the crown, even during the Revolutionary War. There were people who were indifferent. They're like, it's gonna, I'm not gonna sit here and fight about who is who and what is what. They said, I just want to live my life. You guys want to fight for independence from England, you do it. I'm not going to. And hey, England, I'm not going to help you either. That's how some were. But I thank God every day that they did that, that the brave men and women, because women were involved too in different ways. They weren't out there wielding a musket that much and shooting at people, but they were involved. They did their part too. Um, be it supporting those that were out there fighting or doing behind the scenes work that sometimes only a woman probably could have done and not been nobody being suspicious of them doing it. The 4th of July, Independence Day, has become nothing much more for a lot of people than a chance to, it's a day off with pay, it's a barbecue, and how much beer can I drink? And you know what? There isn't anything really wrong with that as long as you're smart about it and don't drink and drive and don't do something stupid. That's how you want to spend it. I'm willing to bet you our forefathers probably would have liked the idea of having some good barbecue and drinking a lot of beer because they did the same thing back then. Um, the barbecues at George Washington's house were legendary, they said, and we all know that he liked his whiskey and I'm pretty sure he liked his beer quite a lot, damn lot too. So most of them did. So that's great. That's I'll be spending it to some extent that way too. Hold on. No, okay. Something popped up and it brought my screen back to the home screen. And do you want to allow such and such to do whatever? No. Maybe that's actually a good kind of almost metaphor for this video is, do I want to let something control something on my computer? No, and I don't want someone else controlling my life or controlling yours. I want you to be free. I want you to go out and enjoy the 4th of July how you enjoy it. But I want you to enjoy it. And I'm asking that you take the time to think about the people who have sacrificed to not only make the first 4th of July special, everyone since then, and those that continue to do it today. Those who are forward deployed, even though they may not be sitting in a traditional combat zone. Hell, they could be sitting in a beautiful base in southern Italy right now, but they're still over there. They're still willing to put themselves on the line. So we can barbecue and drink beer and get a paid day off from work and shoot some fireworks in the sky. Um, of which I will be shooting quite a bit of fireworks into the sky, at least as much as the bank account will allow, which isn't much right now, but I'm going to do my part. My flags will be flying high, and none higher than the American flag. So take the time, be thankful for it, celebrate it. And if you're not from this country, that's okay. Think about the things that make your country great and those that sacrificed to do that. Because I'm willing to bet you there's a lot of them there that sacrificed too. To those of you who may be in this country but aren't from this country, for things like the World Cup, vacation, business, whatever, you're going to see one hell of a 4th of July bash. To some of you, it probably will seem very odd. To some of you from Great Britain, it may seem a little intimidating. But remember this, at the end of the day now, we're friends, we're allies, and I don't want anything else but friends and allies. So relax, enjoy it. Understand that we don't do this every day. Most of us don't. And enjoy your time here. Special place. Keeping this video short. As far as this part goes. My upload schedule's been a little odd, been a little off. Some of that has just been crazy busy in real life stuff. Okay, dog is still breathing over there. That's part of it. Is my issue is the dog is I think he's getting to the end, and it's going to be a sad day. So I've had him for a while now. He's going to be about he's 11 or so, but he's just slowed way down and moving very slowly. And while he's a dog and they like to sleep a lot, he's pretty much sleeping unless he's eating or going to the bathroom for the most part. So we'll see. Hopefully, maybe he's done this before and then come right out of it. Nothing seems to be actually like wrong with him. He's not doesn't have an infection. He doesn't have anything like that. Not putting him through too many big tests or things like that at his age. Even if they found, cancer in him or something like that, I wouldn't put him through the surgeries. I couldn't afford it, but even if I could, he's just reached that point. His life expectancy is 10 to 12. So we'll keep him comfy, we'll keep him happy, and hopefully he stays with us for quite a while longer. But so that and just everything else. Everyone's life gets hectic. It's summertime, trying to do a bunch of stuff. The wife and I had to go yesterday and buy a new vehicle. I say have to. It was just the best time to get rid of the other one, and we got a good deal on another brand new one. So maybe I'll show that at some point. Got a pretty nice truck. So other than that, enjoy yourself. I will have videos out between now and the 4th. The 3rd, that Friday, I don't know if I'll do an upload. If I do, it'll be a short one in the morning. I'm working on a couple of things. I want to do some that are outside the studio. So I'm going to work on a few things. Till next time, behave. I get it. It's summertime, but at least some level of behaving yourself. We want you around for a long time to come. And have fun. See ya.